It's you.
Yeah. Ready? Good afternoon, or still good morning. Thank you. You know, when a good friend like Senator Booker asked me to sponsor the Federal Jobs Guarantee Development Act, I didn't hesitate because helping our struggling communities has been put off for far too long. We have roads and bridges in the country that are falling into disrepair. We have families that can't find childcare. We have aging and toxic water infrastructure, and we have communities paying more for their energy costs than is necessary. And each of these problems represents a job that needs to be done. And yet, it is a job that goes unfilled. This isn't the result of a lack of people willing to do the work. It's a gap created because localities cannot afford to train and pay them. The Federal Jobs Guarantee Development Act will create a pilot program for 15 communities that need it most. It will create good paying jobs, jobs with health coverage, jobs with paid family leave, and jobs with paid training. And importantly, this bill specifically prohibits using these workers to replace existing workers as strikebreakers or as scabs. The work done by these hires will make tangible improvements in their own communities. At the same time, these projects will inject into struggling local economies that will reverberate throughout the nation's economy. So I want to thank Senator Booker and Congresswoman Omar and to all of our co-sponsors, as well as our supporting groups like Jobs with Justice, the Sunrise Movement, and many others. Thank you. Hobble to the side here. Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman, for your foresight in joining Senator Cory Booker in introducing this critical bill. I feel like this is a crisis. Right now, 10 years after the Great Recession officially ended, 6.1 million Americans who want to work cannot find a job. Nearly 4 million Americans who want full-time work can only find part-time. Many Americans feel discouraged that they're unable to find a well-paying job, and so they work multiple jobs to make ends meet and accept being unemployed with no benefits. It's something that directly impacts my district in Minnesota. While the white poverty rate is 9%, the poverty rate for black constituents in my district is staggering 37%. The numbers are even worse when it comes to home ownership. Just 19% of black people in my district own a home. This is not a problem of scarcity, it is a problem of greed. The richest 1% of Americans control almost as much wealth as the bottom 90% of Americans. One family, the Walton family, has more wealth than nearly 49 million American families, 40% of the country. A crisis of this proportion requires bold solutions. That's why I'm proud to stand here with Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman and Senator Cory Booker to be able to introduce this bill. Not only would this bill create a pilot program to guarantee jobs in 15 communities across this country, but they will be good jobs. All of these jobs would pay a living wage and provide benefits like health insurance, paid sick leave, and paid family leave. This bill would also prioritize green energy jobs. And I view this bill as a key component of the Green New Deal. This would not only just benefit people currently looking for work, it would raise wages and improve benefits for all workers by introducing competition into the labor market. This is not a Democratic or a Republican idea. It's an idea that is overwhelmingly supported by the American people. If we're going to build an economy that works, for everyone, we as a nation have a responsibility to make sure that everyone who wants to work can benefit from it. In 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. called on our government to guarantee a job to all people who want to work and are able to work. It's time we make that vision a reality. Thank you. Should we introduce?
Thank you.
Yeah, the next speakers.
Congressman Bobby Rush here.
Haven't seen him yet.
Reverend? Are you
Yes.
Reverend? Okay. I'd like to introduce Rev Delmon Coates, Senior Pastor of Mount Enon Baptist Church.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Reverend Delmon Coates. I'm the senior pastor of Mount Enon Baptist Church in Clinton, Maryland. I'm also the organizer of the Our Money campaign. I reside and pastor in Maryland's 5th Congressional District, and I'm delighted to be here today with Congresswoman Watson Coleman and Congresswoman Omar in supporting this Federal Job Guarantee Development Act. On Labor Day, just a few weeks ago, our campaign led 1,000 supporters in a march for a federal jobs guarantee where we marched from the King Memorial to the Federal Reserve to issue a clarion call to our members of Congress to prioritize the needs of the public interest over the needs of the special interest and the private interest. Our work is a continuation of the civil rights movement, where Dr. King, in response to the Greensboro sit-in, said, "What good is it for a man to have a right to sit at a lunch counter if they can't afford to buy the hamburger?" It is critically important that we have federal legislation that ensures that every American that desires to work has a dignified job with benefits so that we can end involuntary unemployment in America. Many people don't realize that there's a long legacy for a federal jobs guarantee. The nation's first African-American economist, Sadie Alexander, in the 40s, advocated a federal jobs guarantee as a means of addressing and buffering some of the racism that African Americans experience in this country. And Coretta Scott King led 1.2 million Americans in rallies and marches all across the country in support of this very kind of legislation. It is critically important that we let members of Congress know that there is a means for funding priorities in the public interest. The Our Money campaign is designed to mainstream modern monetary theory, which seeks to ask the one question that is often raised when it comes to robust spending proposals like a Green New Deal, Medicare for all, free public college, a federal jobs guarantee, and that is, how are we going to pay for it? Where we pay for it the same way that we pay for wars. We pay for public priorities through deficit spending, which is net public money creation. If we have the public will, we can address our greatest challenges. And if we change the way we think about money, we can literally change the world. The federal government has the power of the public purse to put every American who desires a dignified job with benefits to work. And I'm delighted to be here today to partner with these members of Congress. And I look forward to coming back to partner with other members of Congress in supporting a federal jobs guarantee.
Thank you,
Thank
Reverend.
you.
Do we have another?
Yeah, we have one more.
Is Lauren Maunus, political and legislative coordinator from the Sunrise Movement here? Hey, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Great. Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Maunus. I'm 21 years old, and I am the Sunrise Movement's political and legislative coordinator. I am so excited to be here today to speak to the importance of this bill as a critical stepping stone as we work towards a federal jobs guarantee as a core component of the Green New Deal. I am here because young people like myself have grown up in a time of unprecedented turmoil and uncertainty. We're the first generation to have a lower standard of living than our parents. We're struggling with massive student debt, skyrocketing inequality, rampant depression. So many young people don't trust a political system that has left us facing all of these crises, while the wealthiest among us just continue to get wealthier. And that's why Sunrise Movement is creating a movement all across the country, led by young people, to stop climate change and create millions of good jobs in the process. We're facing a crisis unlike anything else we've ever faced before. UN scientists tell us we have just 11 years to radically transform every sector of our economy and society if we have even a chance to prevent irreversible climate catastrophe. And the good news is there is no shortage of work to be done, from upgrading roads and bridges, retrofitting buildings, supporting family farms to be both economically and ecologically sustainable, and of course building a renewable energy economy to power this country. Anyone who wants a job to make this country better and more prosperous should be able to get one. And that's what the Green New Deal is all about, and that's why the Jobs Guarantee Development Act is such a critical stepping stone in making that happen. So I want to say thank you again to Representatives Omar and Watson Coleman for both of your leadership on this issue. We're so grateful to have allies in Congress who are standing with us and uplifting all of our struggles and fights, that we're mobilizing people on the streets to have your backs. And we really look forward to continuing to work together to ensure that every American, no matter race, class, gender, zip code, age, has access to a good paying, dignified job. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we'll hear from our representative, Bobby Rush from Illinois.
I want to thank you, Representative Watson Coleman, and I want to thank Congresswoman Omar for their insightful and forward-thinking position on the status of the lack of jobs in our nation. And I want to thank them for introducing this very necessary bill into the Congress today, and I am an original co-sponsor of this bill. And my district, the 1st District of Illinois, has as its primary issue the issue of jobs and the lack of jobs. Unemployment is a vital concern for families in my district, for those who have intergenerationally lacked employment opportunities. And this bill comes at the right time, at the right moment. And I enthusiastically endorse this bill. As I said before, I am an original co-sponsor. So this bill represents a hope for a future for those in my district who are suffering from intergenerational unemployment and who are looking for a new resurgence of employment and job activities in my district. I have introduced the blue collar to green collar jobs, H.R. 1315. It's passed out in committee. It is pending before the full House, and that is another attempt to create new jobs for a new economy. And thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Congressman. We know we have a lot more work to do, but we know that this work is important to the quality of life and the access to freedom and equality for all people in this country. And so we'll not stop until we get and reach that parity and reach that equality. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I know we're here to like thank you. That's very nice.
Thank you, sir.
Your name is Delman Coates in Maryland. Okay.
We are from the South.